Welcome back to In the Loop. Every artist has a story hidden behind the music. For Static Bloom, that story is filled with emotional struggle, isolation, and the search for identity in a world that constantly demands perfection. Through atmospheric soundscapes, cinematic visuals, and emotionally vulnerable songwriting, Static Bloom transformed pain into artistic expression. Today, we explore the past, present, and future of an artist whose music resonates deeply with listeners navigating anxiety, loneliness, and self-discovery. Before recognition and artistic growth, Static Bloom faced the same uncertainty experienced by many independent artists. The early stages of the journey were defined by emotional isolation, creative experimentation, and the pressure to stand out in an overcrowded music industry. At first, the artist struggled to find a clear identity. Different sounds, themes, and visual styles were explored in an attempt to create something authentic and meaningful. During this period, music became more than entertainment. It became an emotional outlet. Late nights spent writing lyrics, experimenting with sound design, and building artistic concepts slowly shaped the emotional atmosphere that would later define Static Bloom's identity. One of the biggest struggles Static Bloom faced was artistic identity. The modern music industry often rewards trends, fast content, and commercial formulas. However, Static Bloom wanted to create music that felt personal and emotionally honest, instead of simply following what was popular. This created constant pressure. Questions about success, recognition, and artistic value became impossible to ignore. At times, self-doubt affected the creative process itself. The fear of not being understood or accepted made artistic vulnerability feel risky. But instead of abandoning originality, Static Bloom continued exploring darker atmospheres, emotional storytelling, and cinematic production. Over time, those elements became the foundation of the artist's unique style. Another major challenge came from the competitive nature of digital media and the modern music industry. Independent artists are constantly competing for visibility in a world filled with endless content and short attention spans. Reaching audiences requires more than talent. It requires consistency, resilience, and emotional endurance. Despite these obstacles, Static Bloom continued creating music that connected deeply with listeners experiencing anxiety, emotional conflict, and isolation. Rather than focusing only on popularity, the artist prioritized emotional authenticity and connection. Slowly, that honesty began attracting a loyal audience. Today, Static Bloom has developed a recognizable artistic identity built around emotional vulnerability, atmospheric production, and cinematic storytelling. The artist's work blends alternative rock influences with immersive textures and emotionally driven narratives. Each project feels less like a traditional song and more like an emotional experience. This artistic evolution helped Static Bloom stand out in a highly saturated industry while building a stronger connection with listeners around the world. More importantly, the music created a space where audiences could feel understood. Looking ahead, Static Bloom's future holds strong creative potential. As multimedia entertainment continues evolving, artists who combine music, visuals, and emotional storytelling may become even more influential. Static Bloom's cinematic style could expand into visual albums, multimedia performances, film collaborations, and larger international audiences. The journey is still continuing, and with each new project, the artist continues transforming emotion into art. Static Bloom's story reminds us that creativity often grows from struggle. Through vulnerability, perseverance, and emotional honesty, the artist transformed personal conflict into meaningful artistic expression. And in a world where so many people feel disconnected, music that creates emotional understanding can become something truly powerful. Thanks for watching In the Loop.